ramble. Hello and happy new year. Today is January 6th, 2015. This is the Syncfrog expert, well, probably a half hour today for the new year. My name is JP, and we'll be talking today about moving stuff from one Salesforce org or the same Salesforce org to, um, sorry, from one Salesforce org to another Salesforce org, or even using the same Salesforce org to move data around to set values and object mapping. So, what is Syncfrog? Yeah. Syncfrog?
You watching Jeff Dunham?
Oh, yeah. I haven't, it was a long vacation, so I apologize for that. Yeah, it was like Jeff Dunham was. Syncfrog. Jeffafa. Um, so, here we go. So, what is Syncfrog? Syncfrog is a new data leaping utility from the experts at Click Tools. And what we do is we'll take your information from SurveyMonkey, Twitter, Salesforce reports, Google Spreadsheets, Typeform, and put it into your CRM. It could be Dynamics, Infusionsoft, Oracle, Marketo, or Salesforce. And yes, I realize Marketo is not a CRM, but it is used for holding leads and keeping information. So, what makes us different? Well, for one thing, is we can map to multiple objects on the same data leap, right? So I can use a Salesforce report and have that report create accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, campaigns, anything along those lines, campaign members, um, off the same data leap, or even a Google Sheet or anything along those lines. So create and update multiple objects. You can also apply business rules, which allows you to do logic, like if this record's found, then do this, or if it's not found, I want you to do that. So that allows you to apply your business rules. Now, some of the quick questions that come up about it is, well, what is a package, right? So, what is a data leap? Is the very first thing that most people talk about. All of our accounts are created free, and they are set as a basic account. So you have one login per connector. So that would be one login for Salesforce, one for Google Sheets, one for Typeform, one for Microsoft Dynamics, whatever. And you get one data leap. And you get manual syncing, which means you have to log into our app every single time, click the synchronize button, and that will run it. And you get community support right here inside of our support center, which also has a long list of all these use cases that I usually talk about um, inside the mapping of your CRM to your CRM category. Goes through, our first steps, how to create leads inside of Salesforce, and 5 other pages worth of information. SurveyMonkey to Salesforce notes, anything along those lines. So, what is a data leap? That's usually the biggest question people ask. A data leap is the process of sending information from one place to another. So, sending the results of a SurveyMonkey survey to Infusionsoft would be one data leap. The basic version allows you to set up one data leap. The paid versions allow more. Once the leap is set up, there is no limit to the actual amount of data you can send. So to define that a little bit better, is a data leap would be one set of mapping. You can have 8 parts to that mapping, but it is one set of mapping. And you can run that again and again and again and again under the same data leap, right? It's just leaping the same set of mapping, although the data could be updated. That's usually where most people make a mistake, is they think data leap is I synchronized it once over. I need another data leap to synchronize it again, or a third, fourth, or fifth. Da- think of data leaps as a set of mapping. So we'll kind of show you that. This would be one set of data leap, which would be a lead create via web form. This would be another data leap, a lead create in Marketo. And this would be another data leap here, this all question types question from Google Forms to Salesforce. So what you see here would actually be four separate data leaps. I can go in here and click on activate 25 different times if I wanted to in the same month. And it's going to pull the same data from this lead create form to Oracle CRM. So a lot of people get confused on what it actually is. Is there any limits to the data amount of data? No, all of them are unlimited. I've ran as many as 96,000 records through um, the the system at one time, and that was doing an account, contact, relationships, stuff like that. Probably about 18 parts of mapping, um, and still went through. Not a problem. Are all apps available in all accounts? Yes, we don't have any premium apps. So there's nothing that, you need X package to use Salesforce for, or Y package to use, SurveyMonkey for. They're all available, even in our basic account. How do I upgrade? Pretty easy. We'll cover that in a second. You can downgrade. We don't currently offer phone support, but you can always email us and also have the community. You don't need to learn how to code. And how do you sign up? Well, you just click on this green button like that one for your free account. All accounts are created as free. So the use cases that we're going to be talking about today are actually going to be off of a silver account. The reason being is I'll be synchronizing from the same Salesforce, from one Salesforce org to another. And that means I will need at least two logins per connector instead of or one login per connector. And that would actually give us 10 data leaps, our monthly and daily scheduling. So this would automatically set a schedule and it'll run every single day at a certain time. Excuse me. And that will also give us community and email support. And that's starting at $99 per month. So, and then there's lots of coupons that we send out to once you sign up for purchasing Syncfrog at a better price than normal. A lot of them out right now for bronze to make that cheaper, to just kind of show you what you can do. But today, again, we need to be doing at least silver. So I think I've rambled for about 10 minutes on just the packages and everything like that. So let's show you some stuff, right? So here I have one Salesforce org, right? I have this is on the NA15 org, right? So we can see that it is NA15, and I want to move leads from this NA9 org. So what I've done is I've set up a report called Lead Recycle, and I'm going to use this twice today. I'm going to use it for once internally, going to the same Salesforce org, and once to create leads in somebody else's org. Now, what's the use case of this? Well, for one thing, as I'm sending leads from one Salesforce org to another. Um, this is going to create all the information over, and that's really simple kind of use case of just creating leads from one org to another. Now, this could be something as simple as you're managing multiple orgs, or you had a merger and you want to share leads between orgs, or this could be production to sandbox or sandbox to production. It doesn't really matter where I'm getting the report from, as I can add this information over. We also have people use this for partners. So, I own a specific company, but I want to give some partners some leads that would work for their particular geographic area. And we can also talk about having it create opportunities in their orgs and everything along those lines. But this one's very, very simple. Um, this is called Lead Recycle. And what I've done is taken specific leads, so I can see this particular one here. Luke at lucky.com. I'm going to copy that, put it in a search, and search for it. You can see that our lead here is all of our information. I have a lead status for recycled. Because what this will do, we can set up to do is we can recycle our old leads and everything along those lines. And you can see that at one point they were set to a campaign. So let's move these leads to that other org. So we're going to move from NA9 to NA15 here. So I'm going to create a new data leap here inside of Syncfrog, and I'm going to say our Salesforce report going to Salesforce here. I'm going to click on next, tell it we're credentials, and this is the credentials for my developer account, and tell it which one we want. So in our folder here, we should have one called lead recycle. Excuse me. And we'll click on next here. Tell what credentials we're using, and this is the credentials for the org I'm going to. Example for 1/6, and we'll click on create. They okay take me to the mapping. And Syncfrog is going to set up our data leap for us in a second here. All right, excellent. So like I said, we just want to create these as leads. So in our Salesforce types here on the left-hand side, you can see that our basic types have our quick list. Now, our basic are the ones that most commonly used by everybody. So you have your accounts, contact, case, task, all that good jazz. Then you have your advanced types, which could be anything as a contract or folder. Well, that's not really a good one. Event relations, opportunities in here, competitor, partner, permission set, note, all that good jazz, and any custom fields that I've created inside that org will also be here on the very bottom. So you can see all our customs with the tag C on the bottom there. So we're going to use leads once again, and we're going to click on add new section. Very first thing it says, are we creating a new record, right? So in our required fields have been added up to our new section here. So we need to look at our report. Our report happens to have email, create date, last modified, lead status, fixed value. And we have our last name. So that's probably not the best report I could have grabbed. Let's take a look at other reports I might have. Oh, that might be fun. But this one will probably work. New leads for project object. That would work much better for us because it's got our first name, our last name, our company, a lead source. So let's exit that one. We have example for 1/6. So how do I change that over to the other report? That's really easy. Click on that one, a report title. Click on next here. New leads for project object. Click on apply. And go to mapping. So what that's going to do is going to grab our report information again. And you can see it's much easier. Company/account, last name, going to last name. And we have this little lovely auto map fields button here. And we have email going to email, first name to first name, lead source to lead source. Awesome. So what that's going to do is take a big long list of our report here of all fake people. And 861 people. And what we'll do is we'll click on apply. And this will be moving it from that NA org or NA9 to NA15. And you can see I have today's lead set up. Let's see. There we go. Example for 1.6. Click on activate here. And we can either create this as a schedule. And since I'm on a gold account, I can do hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. So if I wanted to do this every day at a specific time, you can set your time zone and what days, or weekdays or every day. I'm just going to cancel for that for now, and we're going to click on Run Now. And that's going to grab our report that we have set here, that new leads for project object. All right, so it's going to start processing. You can see 5 of 861. If I go into leads here, you can see it says today's leads. If I refresh this page, we're at 22. So our leads are coming across. So that was really simple to do with our mapping, right? We set up our 2 mappings and then just did auto map the rest. And that set everything for us. So Echo Abbey here didn't happen to have a lead source or anything along those lines, but all of our information came over. You can see that it says lead status not contacted. We're at 98. If I refresh again, 121, and if I go to Lynn Carmen, you can see that our lead source came over as well. So like I said, this is really basic setup from a Salesforce report to another Salesforce org. Now, this could easily have been a sandbox org, right? Because I would just grab the same report and point it to a sandbox org. So I'm just using 2 developer accounts to kind of mimic that information. Now, if we want to do something a little bit more aggressive, right? So we want to do several things at once. And I stopped at 216 here. You can see that I cancel it. You can actually click on View Log Details, and that'll tell you exactly what it did. And there's our target ID. One cool thing is you can copy that, put it at the back end of it, enter, and you can see that our lead came across, and you can actually see the lead. So that's kind of cool. You can see with our log details of the actual ID value that it's created. Another cool thing you can do is if you wanted to, you can have it set up your successes. And if you have your Google Drive account linked, you can actually have it dump straight into a Google spreadsheet, and you can see all the successes and keep track there as well. Or you can just simply download it as a CSV. Really useful if you have errors, because now you can actually transform the data in your Google spreadsheet and just resubmit it from the spreadsheet. So let's do something kind of cool, right? So let's take a look at our reports here. And I see that I have one called account op and contact for NA15 org. Let me click on customize here. And we have date field, my opportunities. Let's see, current all time. Cool. All right, so we have a opportunity, an account name, first name, last name, email, the amount, expected revenue, and what they're doing. Now, I want to move this over to another org. Again, this could be a partner or something along those lines, or you want to move this from your merged account to something else. So you just want to move, again, which accounts. So let me just add one more filter on this because I just want the prospecting one, because that's so let's do filter, add, field filter, stage equals, click on that, prospecting, insert selected, click on OK. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is that we're going to set this report, and I'm going to go ahead and run this one. So we have our one line item here, and we are going to map this information over. We're going to have Syncfrog create a new opportunity inside of our org, create a account, a contact related to that account, and the opportunity related to both of those. So All right, cool. So let's go ahead and set this up. So we'll take a look at our opportunities. We'll see new this week. We have no new opportunities this week, and we're going to have Syncfrog grab all of that from one account to another. So again, I'm going to click on Create New Data Leap, Force Report, going to Salesforce, click on Next here. Tell our credentials, and our credentials are from one account to another. Tell it which one. So account op and contact for NA15, that happens to be the one that we want. Click on Next. Tell it the credentials for the account that we're going to, the Salesforce account. Second example for 1/6. And click on Create and say, okay, take me to the mapping. Take a sip of your coffee. Mmm, delicious. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create that account, correct? We want to create our account name. So in our Salesforce types, you can see account. It's our very first one. So we're going to click on Add New Section here. We can do cool stuff like update existing or create a new record. And that will give us a where statement. So we can say account name equals account name. So what that will do is that's our filter criteria. So it's going to be searching our account names to make sure that the account name equals the same thing that we're passing over. And if I do find multiples, what do you want us to do? Well, in this case, we're going to use the last modified. Okay. And then we'll just map over our account name in case it hasn't been created. Now, our report is very, very light on the information that we're passing over. It's only, 7 columns, 8 columns. However, it could be 30 or 40 columns if you really needed it to be, if you wanted all the account information as well. So, okay, so account name, going to account name, and we're going to update existing or create new. So that'll be using that. Next up, I want to do the contact. And we'll click on Add New Section here. And I want to create new, find existing, update existing, or create new record. I'm actually going to say just create a new record today. And we're going to fill out our information. So our last name field goes to our last name. And we can click on Map New Field. And first name to first name. Really simple. And we can click on the Auto Map Fields button. You can see that email was done. These ones are extra because I'm not doing that today. And our stage buttons are there as well, so we can just check those boxes. Click on delete. Now you can see one thing that's kind of strange is we have account name going to account ID. Well, that's not going to work. That's going to kick an error saying, ID value of incorrect type. So we can check on that drop-down box and see that lovely reference one account button selection. What that will do is from our newly created / updated account, it'll provide the ID value. So it'll tie this contact to that account using the ID value from our first part. And that's how you relate these two objects together. So that's our multi-part mapping for this one, right? So we have our last name, our first name, account getting created in our first mapping section here. And then I'm referencing that account in the second part here. And then we have our email address. Cool. Now, next up, I want to do an opportunity, correct? So we're going to say opportunity. We're going to say add new section. And we want to create a new opportunity record, right? So we have a close date. And we have a close date here on a report. So your close date is 12/9/2014. Now you can see that that's not really going to work for us in terms of sending it over. So we'll do our opportunity name and then our stage, right? So we have our stage fields. One cool thing that we can do is see how this button is blue here. It says create a value transform. What that'll allow us to do is actually convert our date format. So from our month, day, year to year, month, day, which is the mandatory field that we need to have our data in order for Salesforce to accept the date field. So this is a date field. This is a date timestamp right here. Or if you're going to a specific field that you need it in, like a formula or something along those lines. But in order to create things with a date time, you have to transform it to that year dash month dash year. So this is automatically going to transform that for us. Very cool. So we click on apply here. You can see that it turns into a blue green thing. And we also want to map a new field here as well, right? So what other things will we want? We probably want that account ID again, right? So we have that account ID, and again, we're going to click on that drop down and say reference one account. Awesome. So again, we're going to use that it created or slash updated. Now, is there anything else that we want in here? Well, we could add campaign ID. So if we wanted this to go to a specific campaign every single time, we can. Probability, tracking number, all that good jazz. So again, I'm being very light on our information, right? So we've created all of that. Easy enough, just check the box, remove that one field, and click on OK. Cool. So again, we'll just rush through the mapping one more time. We have update existing or create a new record where the account name equals the account name field inside of Salesforce. If I find multiples, it's going to use the last created one. If it doesn't find it, it will create using the account name. Again, on the contact, we'll be just creating a new contact today. Last name to last name, first name to first name, email to email, and referencing the same account that is either created or updated in our first box here. And lastly, we have our opportunity being created, which is our close date, our opportunity name, our stage, and you know what? Probably value. Let's see. The amount. I forgot to put that one. The amount going to amount. Ooh, jeez. That would have been terrible. So we can go ahead and click on apply here. And click on OK. Awesome. And let me scroll down my big long list of, there's our second example. Again, we can click on activate. And Syncfrog will tell you if it has been run. So you can see it says not run yet here. Or how many times it's been run. So I've ran this particular one 2 times, this particular one 3 times. And if I get an error, actually it's going to turn bright red and say, error. And then obviously it shows you the date of the last run on this one. So again, you can copy your data leaps if you need to or trash them. So I'm going to probably after this trash a whole lot of these. So click on activate again. And again, we can create it as a schedule, or today I'm just going to do a run now. So we're going to click on that run now, and it's going to grab our Salesforce report from that first org. Have a sip of coffee. And that's already been processed once. Oh, I've already ran that one. Silly me. Okay, that's my own fault. I apologize, everybody who's watching. So, let me do a new opportunity real quick. Silly sometimes. We'll prospecting amount of 32,123, right? 32,000. Type new customer, lead source, web. account name. Let's see. We will pick Alf today and click on save. All right, so if I go to account name Alf, we see that Gordon Schumann exists here. Perfect. So if I go back to that report, I say run report. Did I do that wrong? Hmm. Okay. So imagine, if you will, that the opportunity, and I've done this before, so what would happen is, and I ran this on the 9th, is our opportunity was created. So we have our strangers in the wilderness, our account name was created, and you can see that our account name, if I click on it, has our contact that you could see before. So there's our contact that's related to the account, and the opportunity is related to that as well. So, with that mind boggling conclusion of why my opportunity didn't work today, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for the Syncfrog Expert Hour. We'll have a new one next week. So, that should be much better planned out and everything along those lines, so that doesn't happen to me again. Thank you for watching, and a Happy New Year.